For my own essay, I wanted to compare a 1920s breakfast from America to a 2020s breakfast from America. To start off, I had to go and get my stuff. In Martin's, I noticed that many of the cold cereal items were dominated by either General Mills, Kellogg's, or Quaker Oats. This is not surprising because the cold cereal market globally is dominated by these three companies: PepsiCo, Kellogg's, and Cereal Partners Worldwide, which is a collaboration between General Mills and Nestle, have about 52% of the global market share. That equates to $30 billion of sales globally. It's very difficult to break into a market like this because of the perishability of items like cereal. Since items have a shelf life, supermarkets do not want to purchase new items. This makes it dominated by companies that have figured out the logistics. And that was the basis for my on essay. I wanted to compare the uh, producers of a 1920s breakfast and a 2020s breakfast, as well as a look at the ease of making and nutrition value of these breakfasts. Um, so to start off with the 1920s breakfast, I used a collection of recipes, or a meal outline from American Cookery 1920s. It says that the outdoorsman breakfast, which seemed more interesting, uh, was codfish balls with tomato sauce, and I got this recipe from savor.com. It also says that cornmeal mush was eaten commonly, and so were pancakes with syrup, and this recipe was from the cookbook Some Like It South. It also said coffee was commonly drank. For the 2020s breakfast, it's a bit more difficult to find any discourse about the 2020s breakfast because we're currently living it. But I found CDC data saying that the most common breakfasts to be eaten in America in the 2020s are food like ready to eat cereal that's high in sugar, eggs and omelets, milk, and orange juice. So I use this as my basis. I also took bacon from uh, a Joshua Weissman collection of breakfast food, which I don't think that anybody would complain about because bacon was marketed as a American breakfast, as it fell out of popularity in the 1900s. Um, it received heavy treatment in marketing because Beech Nut Packing Company wanted to sell a lot more bacon. Um, so to go through the ingredients, the 1920s breakfast for the codfish balls, I had to buy ground cod. They didn't have any ground cod at Martin's, so I used salted cod as a substitute. It also called for matzo meal, which they didn't have, so I used panko crumbs as a substitute. An egg, canola oil, seafood stock, whole peel tomatoes, and a tablespoon of sugar. The corn mush called for cornmeal. The pancakes called for flour, eggs, butter, sugar, baking soda, and buttermilk. These ingredients, when you delve into the producers of these ingredients, I was expecting to find a lot of smaller, medium sized businesses because I didn't recognize many of the names. But what I learned was that even in the 1920s breakfast, many of these uh, ingredients and foods are dominated by major billion-dollar companies. For example, the salted cod was from a brand named Boston, which I had never seen. And that's distributed by Stavis Seafoods, which is owned by Grupo Profan. And Grupo Profan is a multinational fish distributor, and they had asset turnover exceeding $1 billion in 2022 and have activities in 5 continents, which I definitely was not expecting because I expected the fish to be local. but that just goes to show the globalization of food in 2020. Additionally, the breadcrumbs came from Our Family, which was a brand started by Spartan Nash in the 1900s. And Spartan Nash is in over 2,100 retail stores and have about $10 billion in sales. The eggs were from a brand called Miss Molly's, and they're free range eggs, and that company is owned by Weaver Eggs, which actually is a family farm employing about 350 people, and it's the fourth generation of family. So while many foods are still owned by major mega food companies, there are definitely uh, local food if you want to find it. The canola oil was also Our Family. The seafood stock was Kitchen Basics, which was recently purchased by Del Monte Foods. And Del Monte Foods has $2 billion in sales in 2023. The tomatoes were also Our Family, um, and Spartan Nash. And the sugar was Domino, which was started in 1901. And the Domino factories can make up to 17 million pounds of sugar a day. Big difference. Which goes to show how much sugar is able to be turned out at Domino. And that's just one company. They are able to make millions of pounds and they serve millions of people. Domino is owned by the American Sugar Refining Group, and that's the world's largest refiner of sugar. And it was also the only sugar option I could find in Martin's. Um, the corn mush, the only cornmeal brand that I could find with a corn mush recipe, was Quaker Oats, which is actually owned by Pepsi Company. And Pepsi Company has $91 billion of revenue. Unsurprisingly, it's globally known, up there with Coke. The pancakes, the flour was Gold Medal, and Gold Medal is owned by General Mills, and General Mills has over 100 brands. It also started congruently with Gold Medal, as Gold Medal flour was General Mills' first product. General Mills and Gold Medal have the same founder, and General Mills is in over 6 continents with $20 billion of net sales. Once again, the pancakes had eggs and butter. Butter's from Land O'Lakes. We talked about the butter in class, or Land O'Lakes in class, and it's a farmer cooperative, but it still has $17 billion of sales, which shows that even the brands that market themselves as kind of smaller scales, they are raking in billions of dollars of sales a year. Granted, it's not as centralized. Um, and the buttermilk was owned by Marburger Farms, which is family owned, and has 100 acres of land, I believe, in Pennsylvania. So that was all for the 1920s breakfast. I was surprised to find how many major food companies were in the 1920s breakfast. I expected it to be much more of a um, local, small scale operation, but it was almost primarily large companies. The 2020s breakfast has much fewer ingredients. The eggs were eggs from Miss Molly's. The milk was from Prairie Farms, which is also a farm cooperative like Land O'Lakes. The cereal was General Mills. The orange juice was Florida Naturals and Florida's Natural, another farm cooperative. And the bacon was Oscar Mayer, which is owned by the Kraft Heinz Company, a company with $27 billion of sales. The 2020 breakfast, importantly to note, it took me a lot less time than the 1920s breakfast. The 1920s breakfast, the pancakes took 20 minutes to make at the very least. And uh, corn, the codfish balls took 20 minutes to make at the very least. Also, the Quaker Oats corn mush took 5 minutes to make, whereas the 2020s breakfast, you can do bacon, eggs at the same time. That takes 5 minutes. And then you can also do the cereal, 30 seconds. You're just pouring milk into a bowl with cereal. And I think that that's interesting to think about because while, yes, not only has the 2020s breakfast become a lot smaller in terms of ingredients, it's also become smaller in terms of complication, I guess, and takes a lot less time. And I am curious if that's a product of social desires or if that's a product of marketing. And I believe that it's a product of marketing, considering how objects like bacon were not necessarily desired by America, especially in the 1900s, early 1900s. And then through heavy marketing efforts, it is now a quintessential American breakfast item. I think that there was innovation with breakfast items like cereal to cut down on costs and also time, because now you're able to put all your grains that you got with the pancakes into cereals, which take 30 seconds. Also, they're much more addictive because of the sugar. um, and the orange juice had added sodium, which I suspect is MSG, to make it more addictive. So I think that in general, the 2020s breakfast proved to be much more convenient, but the nutritional value is definitely concerning. And I also believe that it is more marketed and for the benefit of major corporations, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it's also convenient. But it's important to note when we think about who we're getting our food from and how it's almost only going to be from major corporations, especially in these grocery stores, which aren't willing to give small farmers a chance because food is perishable and they need to get the food off their shelves. So now I'm going to taste test it with my roommate, and we're going to talk about breakfast and how we interact with breakfast and what we think of breakfast and what we want breakfast to be.
Me?
Well,
You can cut this.
This is what we got. This is the 2020 breakfast, 1920 breakfast, orange juice, coffee, Reese's Puffs. Trey, what are your expectations?
Well, I've had bacon and eggs a million times, so fully expecting that to taste like bacon and eggs. It looks like pretty good bacon. There's a nice little char on there. Should be really, really good. The Reese's Puffs are going to be Reese's Puffs. The pancakes are going to be pancakes. Really excited to try these cod balls. I don't know if you can see this. There may not be balls, but this red thing, it looks decent, and it actually smells better than I thought it was going to. So I go first, or
What about the corn mush?
The corn mush, it looks disgusting, but
Have you ever had, you've had grits before, right?
like once, a long time ago, so I don't really know what to expect with the corn mush.
Grits without cheese.
Should I just start with the eggs and bacon? Bacon and eggs, I should say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're just going to start with the bacon and eggs. Wow, they taste like eggs. It's a good scrambled egg, though. It is a decent scrambled egg.
Thank you.
You've done well. What's mixed in here? Is it literally just eggs and milk, and then
Eggs and half and half.
half and half? Got you. And then some salt and pepper on top.
Salt and pepper mixed in.
Lovely. It's pretty good scrambled
Coffee with
egg.
the 1920, orange juice with the 2020.
Yeah. I mean the 1920 coffee, 2020 orange juice.
Yeah.
You can't see this. This is orange juice. Pretty good. Tastes like orange juice. It is. What brand was this? Tropicana.
No, it's Florida Natural.
Florida Natural. Going for the that's a pretty good crisp on the bacon.
Do you like? All right, Reese's Pieces.
Puffs.
Oh, yeah, Reese's Puffs.
Bacon's good. Oh, well done. You spilled half.
I hit my 2.
Do they taste like Reese's Puffs?
They taste like, I haven't had Reese's Puffs since I was maybe like 6.
This is a big bowl of Reese's Puffs.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
on the
using
side.
the same shit.
I also didn't get dinner because I was in the supermarket when dinner was being served. So
That's a good Reese's Puff.
Yeah.
I believe you poured in the cereal and the milk. You put the milk on top of the cereal, correct?
Always cereal first.
Cereal first, milk second. It's Reese's Puffs.
Should we quit delaying?
I really don't want to try this. Yep, let's move to it. All right, I'm gonna start with the what's it called, corn mush?
Yeah. Would you consider yourself an adventurous eater?
No, no.
I would.
First of all, it's kind of like the consistency of mashed potatoes.
I just tried it. Just no flavor.
That's the most bland thing I've ever eaten.
Yeah. The Quaker Oats does not call for enough salt.
That literally just tastes like eating nothing. It's not like good,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I can call it bad. It just doesn't taste like
hot for a little bit too long, so it's a bit drier than it should.
it. Just doesn't taste
The
like
coffee, let me tell.
anything. It just doesn't taste like anything. I don't know what else to tell you.
Pancakes?
The pancakes look good. We heard from a third-party source already that the pancakes were decent. There's some maple syrup on here. What else is on the pancakes? Well, any butter on there?
Butter for you. I accidentally put away the butter before I served myself up.
Okay, I'm trying not to mix these with the codfish. I'm gonna move plates here.
Pancakes are good. They look rustic, but that was because of the pan.
Oh,
The pan was really hot.
those are good pancakes.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I'm happy with the pancakes. All right, do you want to go first or shall I?
I'll go first. I got 2 great chasers at the very least. That is salty. It's just salt. Taste it.
Straight salt?
Yeah, straight
just
salt.
overpowering salt? I want to make sure I get some of the cod. Is the cod just kind of all mixed in here?
Yeah. See, I would.
This is a pretty big bite.
You definitely get the cayenne. Not.
You can taste the cod. You can certainly taste the fish.
Yeah.
I don't know
But I
why.
wouldn't describe it as a fishy taste. It's more just like a salt.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know who would ever eat that for breakfast. Maybe they'd be better in ball form, but that's terrible.
No, I don't think it would be better. Like,
That's just not good.
If
It's
you were
too
to
many
deep
spices
fry-
for breakfast. Like, the
See, I
corn mush is
strongly
not
disagree.
good, but at least it's bland. I think this is far too much for breakfast.
Would you never have a chorizo?
No, I would.
I just don't like.
Maybe
the
my
cod.
point's moot.
I don't like the cod.
Oh, that is not good. I'm gonna go in
Especially
for
if you're
round
in the-
2 here. Maybe I just got a bad bite.
Especially if you're in the 1920s and like the cod might not be like the safest. I don't know if I'd want that to be my starting meal.
Yeah. Nope, I do not need to do that again. That was pretty terrible.
Tony, come here. Oh, fuck.
That is really good. That's really good. You genuinely like that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we think it's horrible. You enjoy that?
No. No, I was kind of like.
It's terrible, right?
I was raised better than that. No, that is not good.
It's
at all.
so awful.
That's
It is
so bad.
so
If
awful.
you told me right now we were actually kidding, we do think it's good, I would just flip flop, dude.
It's terrible. You want some
Legitimately,
bacon?
it is
You want
terrible.
some
I
bacon?
love some bacon. Is this good?
Yeah,
the bacon, it's just regular
It's
bacon.
just bacon.
This is the 1920s breakfast. This is the 2020s breakfast.
Do you want to try some corn
The
mush?
only
just
difference is the 20s. Yeah.
Try some corn mush. It doesn't taste like anything.
Oh,
it's
it's
the
totally
blandest thing
different.
I've ever
I
had.
thought those were both eggs.
No, this is just the blandest thing you'll ever eat. It doesn't taste
It's
like
basically
it literally
just
tastes like nothing.
grits.
That's wild. Is it like nutrient packed though?
I assume so. Let's check out the nutrition.
It just doesn't taste like anything.
I always go pancakes. Those are really good.
There's some maple syrup
One
on there, some
serving,
butter.
21 grams of carbs.
That's really the mix.
21 grams
Basically,
of
this
butter.
has no nutritional value.
Dude, it tastes like shit too. That's crazy. Maybe I'm sure it's really cheap.
Eggs are good.
It's like
Yeah.
potatoes, I bet. You know, we're like.
How did
It's
you
filling.
How did you
Like-
make those? Or the corn mush?
You mix some water, salt, and corn mush together, and then you pour in boiling water, and then you let it thicken.
So literally it's just salt and corn mush.
Yeah,
It's terrible. It is awful.
it's exactly what I expected.
So, do you care to have any more, or have you made your opinion
I
valid?
like one. I like some more.
You want some eggs?
Yeah. Those eggs are good.
Eggs are good. Eggs are good.
They're very like well moist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are good eggs.
Holy hell. These are really good eggs.
So, would you rather have the 2020 breakfast or the 1920 breakfast?
I'm pretty firmly in the 2020 camp.
The 2021 has actual taste.
Which breakfast would you think is more, like corporate and kind of like nailed down to science? They're thinking about human taste and marketing and like kind of coercing us to like the taste of. Because like think about these. These are all like Oscar Mayer bacon. There's an Oscar Mayer bacon in every grocery store. Kellogg's Reese's Puffs.
Yeah, especially with the
More
Reese's
than
Puffs,
natural.
there is a lot of marketing on those. But like, it is good.
Reese's
It's just
Reese's
sugary.
Puffs. Yeah.
Everything about
Which one do you think is more nutritionally valuable?
well, bacon's like the worst food you can possibly eat, so probably not that one. But the corn mush has, we just discussed, has like zero nutritional value.
But it's filling.
It is filling.
So like if you're going out to work,
yeah, I guess
Yeah,
corn mush
yeah.
is a good base.
Yeah.
Reese's Puffs are about
sugar.
the least nutritious thing on the planet. It's basically like sugar, peanut butter, and chocolate.
Basically the only
and
thing
just
with
carbs.
nutritional value here is the eggs.
Yeah. I don't know. Is the codfish particularly nutritious or no?
I would say so.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
I mean, it's fish. That's something.
Yeah.
There's some protein in
A
there.
lot of salt. You're definitely
A whole lot of
getting
salt.
sodium.
Whole lot of salt. I certainly know that the modern breakfast is not particularly healthy. Eggs are great, but when you chuck in the bacon and the cereal, it's not really getting you off to a great start.
How often do you eat breakfast? At home, like not
At home, not in college, I eat breakfast every morning.
What's your usual breakfast?
My usual breakfast, if I have enough time for it, would be what I'm going to make tomorrow for both of us. Some toast with butter on it, and then some scrambled eggs or maybe a fried egg, like sunny side up or over easy, just right on top there. Normally 2 eggs, 2 pieces of toast. That's my go-to. If I got avocado, I make some avocado in there. If I'm feeling really special, if it's a weekend, I'll probably make some bacon. If I got like an hour and a half, I'll make some pancakes, maybe some waffles. But most of the time, I'm sticking to eggs and toast for the most part.
Yo, where's the camera? What's up?
That's all right. The corn mush just doesn't taste like anything. It's actually the most bland thing I've ever had.
It's like plain grits. basically.
It doesn't taste like anything. And then the codfish stew is straight salt and a little
wait.
fishy
I kinda
taste.
tried. I kinda
Go for it. Do you want to wipe? You can wipe this off if you want.
No, not that.
It's not like
Oh my
unedible. It just doesn't taste good.
Oh my god, that is so salty.
Yeah, it's really salty.
I might have just not washed off the cod enough.
You washed off the gut for like
30 minutes.
yeah, a long time.
It called for 15.
Oh, that is so salty.
It's just straight salt, and then you can taste a little of the cod in there. This just doesn't taste like anything. You don't even need to waste your time.
I knew that the salt was gonna be, or the cod was gonna be salty. So I didn't even add any salt into any.
You didn't add salt in it?
I didn't add salt.
Oh, so the only salt in here is from the cod.
I might have
feel
done
my
like
tongue, like,
a little
shriveling
pinch
up
of
inside
salt
my
into
mouth.
this
Yeah.
stew.
Ugh,
Out of
But-
10? Out of 10?
like a 2.5.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
To be fair,
We didn't give out of 10s, but I would give it close to that as well.
the recipe called for ground cod, not salted cod.
Ugh.
Maybe that would change something, but that was just... No, it's not good.
Yeah.
People in the 1920s were just eating this. Like, every day. That's crazy. Outdoorsmen. People working outside, lumberjacks.
Maybe
For
they
the
sweat so
longest
much and they
time.
lost so much salt through their sweat.
That's actually a good idea.
Just a constant salt stream.
It could be. Could be.
But who could down, like,
Ugh.
I don't think I could have any more salt today after having 3 bites of that.
It reached I reached my daily max.
Yeah.
All the sodium intake is gone.
I could have a lot of Reese's Puffs though.
Yeah. Cup was the nah.
The Reese's Puffs they taste like Reese's Puffs. Pancakes were good. Eggs were really good. Corn mush doesn't taste like anything. Cod was terrible. What else? We got? Bacon was good. That's my overview. I much prefer today's common breakfast.
Well, that would make sense. You
Yeah,
do
it's a
live
reason.
in-
It's a reason why it's my common breakfast. Hope
You
you
do
enjoy it, Prof.
Houston.